At Innovate 2014, we did a live demonstration during our DevOps keynote. In that demonstration, we showed how a mobile application was communicating to a cloud application in Bluemix, which then communicated to an on-premise mobile ZOS application. In the demonstration, we utilized mobile quality assurance services in Bluemix to capture customer sentiment and open up defects in the device. We used Bluemix for running the public cloud application, as well as the DevOps services for Bluemix for the actual tooling experience and the delivery capabilities. We used a cast iron live service for secure communication to our backend on-premise mainframe application, rational test virtualization server for the virtualized services, as well as Urban Code for distributed deployment of the mainframe changes on-premise. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on the first phase or the first scene, which is the mobile quality assurance and the Bluemix DevOps services. In the second part of the video, we'll focus on the on-premise. In Bluemix with the MQA service, we can see that we have a low sentiment score. So if we drill into that and take a look at why, we can drill into some of the attributes to see what's going on. And we can see here that our performance is much below our norm, which is 80. And we see various comments or signals like slow and sluggish. So let's go into our service or into our application and see if we can't adjust some of the settings here. So we can go into the runtime, and we can go in and we see that it's only one instance. So we can manually go in and add additional instances to take care of some of the performance problem. We also have a new elastic scaling service that's available for doing that automatically. So we can see here we also have the cast iron live service that's providing our on-premise communication to our backend Kix application, and we'll provide more on that later. So here's our mobile app, and we're running the application. We can see in the inventory that it's not working. So we shake it, and what you see here is that the mobile quality assurance debugger has come on and allows us to write on the screen. So we can go ahead and write on here that we have no specials. Sorry about the handwriting, it's not very good. But this allows, with MQA, it allows us to capture problems directly in the device, so there's no need for context switching, and allows the developer or the tester or the consumer to immediately provide feedback to the development team. So now that we've submitted that, let's go ahead and check in on the development team and see how they're doing. So here we are in the IBM DevOps services, and we can see we've got some incoming work. A work item has automatically been opened as part of the MQA integration with the IBM DevOps services. We have valuable information in the link that's available to the developer, such as the picture of the screen size, as well as some information about the system itself. So this is very important for doing debugging analysis. So let's go ahead and start working on our defect because we need to get this fixed as quickly as possible. So I'm going to drill into the code editor. I have a rough idea of where that is in the routes. We added in some new code recently to deal with the specials in the inventory, and I can see here getting the inventory we're not getting the specials. So let's change the method that we're invoking, clean up some of the syntax here, maybe add a comment so someone knows what we have done. So we fix this for the specials problem. All right. So now this is in my workspace, and what I want to do is make it available to our team. So I'm going to stage it for our hosted repository, and I'm going to put in a comment as part of the work item or as part of the change set. Now this submits it directly in our hosted Git repository so that other team members have it available to them. Also, we have integrated here a build and deploy system, and whenever a change is delivered into our SCM system, in this case a hosted Git, it automatically triggers a build if you're using the build and deploy feature. And drilling into the build and deploy, we can see that build 89 is currently in progress. This has been initiated based on the check-in of the code that I just made. So if we drill into this, what you'll see immediately is information about the build, and most specifically you'll see a rolling log file. So this is the log of the events that are happening as we're progressing. We can see at the end here that it has finished successfully. There's other information such as tests and artifacts that you can download, as well as the link to the changes that are available from the fix. And we can see here the change to the index file that we had made. So now, once that's done, we also have another trigger. Once we have a successful build, this will automatically trigger a deployment request. This is a deployment that's configured to deploy into the Bluemix environment into a space, and in this case, our demo space is where we're deploying the changes. This is running a script which was defined by the development team to take the contents from the build and deploy those to our space. And you can see here that it's running. We're using the cast iron live service as well, and it's downloading all the necessary build packs and capabilities to run our application in our Bluemix environment. Now that that's done, we can go back and take a look at the history, and sure enough, we see that build 89 is deployed and our Homestead server is back up and running successfully. So let's go back into the mobile app and take a look at the fix. When we look at the inventory, we see here that the specials for the mountain bikes are indeed being shown. Now that this is done, I can go back to my track and planning capability. I can go back to my work item, and I want to go ahead and close this off. Since we have fixed it, I'm going to resolve this as done. But before we do that, let's take a look at the links, and we see here that the change set is automatically linked for greater visibility and feedback. And now I can go in and resolve this as fixed. So now that work item has been completed and fixed quickly. And we can go back to our build and deploy, because not in every case whenever we're making a change, sometimes they don't work, not in all cases, but in those events that they don't work, we have the ability to go to a previously successful build and deploy those back into the space. So this allows us to go back in time and make the necessary adjustments. That concludes scene 1 of the Innovate DevOps keynote demonstration. I thank you for watching, and be on the lookout for scene 2 coming to you soon. Thank you.